Hi there, I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. You're watching me on NDTV. Now, for the past couple of days, one of the constant queries we've heard from you, the viewer, has been that a lot of people are now testing RT-PCR negative while they continue to have symptoms which are all of COVID. You've written to me about it. I have had family members who've gone through this as well. So I thought, let's do a video where we try and understand, firstly, why this is happening. And second, if this is happening to you, your family or your friends, what is it that you can do? Okay. So first up, RT-PCR is still the gold standard for testing for COVID across the country, and one must continue to rely on it. However, more and more data is now emerging that 1 in 5 people who are testing for RT-PCR, their results are coming either false positive or false negative. Why is that happening? Because currently, remember, there is a cocktail of new mutants which is out in every state in the country. And these testing kits for RT-PCRs were actually built much earlier. A lot of them are not updated to the latest variants in the country and thus are not catching on to it. There are various new kits as well that's already out in the market. There are few states who are still using the old ones, and that's why this is happening. In particular, the UK variant, the extremely notorious UK variant, which is also part of the double mutation, remember, we've talked about this in the previous video, they are in particular jumping the test. They're not reflecting in the test, so you have to be careful. Number 2 reason is there might be a possibility that your virus load is actually very low. And that's the reason why it's not reflecting in your test. Number 3, and this is the harsh reality really of where we are living in, the testing load in the country is so huge that our testing quality is being compromised. And that is seeing a deterioration. For example, we just reported a couple of days ago on how a gardener in a hospital once was asked to pick up samples from people because there was simply nobody else left. Our healthcare infrastructure is so extremely burdened that now we are looking into other avenues. There are some, attempts to sort of meet all these gaps, and that is leading to a compromised way of testing. So if you are also facing all of this and you have symptoms for COVID and symptoms which are emerging out of the new variants more and more, but you are still testing negative, what should you do? First up, if you have come in touch with anybody who's tested positive, isolate yourself immediately. That is the key. Isolate yourself, and the first thing you need to do is watch out for your symptoms. I've done a video on this talking about all the new symptoms. Go back to that video, see the list, educate yourself, keep yourself informed. If you are reporting any of the symptoms despite testing negative, stay in isolation, inform your doctor. Let him know about your symptoms. He will in all probability start with your medication. Next, keep an oximeter handy. An oximeter, all of us know about it now. Get it from a nearest chemist or just order online and start noting your oxygen levels at least twice a day. And if at any time your oxygen level goes below 94, you need to report to your doctor. It is a matter of concern. Next, if both these things are also fine, but still your symptoms are there, you need to repeat your RT-PCR test in the next 3 days. Then, if it's still negative, you have to undergo a CT scan. A CT scan should be done, I want to underline here, only at the advice of your doctor. And if he says so, please go get it done. Remember, in the second wave already, we are seeing the CT scan. The patches are seeing in the lungs much earlier. They are being witnessed in the first week itself compared to cropping up on the 8th or the 10th day compared to the first wave. So those results will also come up on the CT scan. Apart from that, there is one more thing you can do, which is not much talked about, but here's a tip. You can also get your blood test done. A blood test at times also shows in various forms of inflammation in your body and gives your doctor a good idea about what's going on. And there are 2 blood tests that you can get done. Please note that now. The C-reactive protein and the D-dimer. Get these tests done, take the results to your doctor and let him figure out what is to be done next. The reason why this is so important is because I understand it happened in my family as well. We had people who were showing all the symptoms, but constantly one test after the other coming out negative. And if they got serious, if they had to be taken to a hospital, no hospital would admit them because they don't have a RT-PCR positive. So this is some information I hope will come handy to you. Like I said, so far, still RT-PCR is the best way to go. So you have to repeat those tests, but also watch out for symptoms. That is the key. So keep that in mind. I hope this was helpful. We'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.